Let me do this. Let me do this. I think it's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, then say hello.
You gotta get it off starting. Now you go intro sound.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever it might be to you. Come on, come all. We welcome them all. Of course, you can see we got little old Diesel on the show tonight. He's
little Diesel's with us. Hi, buddy.
out. So he'll just be napping away probably.
You're going to like the way his little outfit lights up in a little bit. You see all of his colors and stuff. Well, here, I can show you right now. Let me go to here and do this. Turn off that. There you go. Now show him his outfit. Stand him up.
It's just Hoover Diesel. Yeah.
There you go. Turn him. There it is. Down. There you go. That's cool. All right, so let's get on with the Tracy update. I'm so glad you guys all joined us. How many's here today? We've got this availability.
I got it on my phone. 80.
87. All right. Welcome all. Hope you guys are having a great time, and let's get on with the Tracy update. First off, not much has changed except for you remember before she used to, when she coughed, she would like bring her knees up and go into the like fetal position. Well, I tell you what, now she puts her legs wherever she wants. I put them up where I need them to go, and she puts them straight back. I lift it up, she puts it straight back. I'm like, come on, Tracy. I'm trying to, change her and stuff. She just wants them where she wants them, and she's able to move them there. Now, the next thing is her arms never moved, like, on their own, other than, like, coughing or something. Mara was changing her, and Tracy took her arm and just moved it like this. It was like she was swinging on Mara. Mara looked at me, all crazy. I was like, woo, she moved her arm. I was real happy about that. So I've never seen a movement like that before. That was awesome. And let me see here. Well, our nurse took off yesterday at 4 o'clock. So I've been watching Tracy since 4 o'clock yesterday, and I've got to go until 8 o'clock Monday morning. So that's a total, I think, 86 hours straight. So, the kids are all going to their girlfriends' houses. So I didn't even put up a tree here. But we got this nice background for you. Josh, move over and let them see the fire. There you go. So yeah, it's she's coming along. She's doing good. She's coughing a lot harder now, which is better for us because the less that we have to suction her out and go all the way into her lungs, the better for her. Every time we put that, what's it called? The suction thing? Catheter. Every time we put that catheter down in here, you're taking a chance of putting germs inside of her lungs, where she can get, pneumonia and all that, scratching her lungs, cutting it, bleeding and all that kind of stuff. It's just not as, if she could get it out herself, it would be much better. And she's doing that. She's coughing hard now. Before she used to be like, during, whether she's breathing in or breathing out, she'll just start coughing. Now she's going, and she's taking the breath in first and coughing it out. So she's getting all this liquid out herself, which is a major milestone. Mara says that she's doing a lot better. So we're suctioning her out internally less. We still have to, I got her a bib that she wears under her trach mask, and I cut a hole in the bottom of the trach mask. So when she coughs, it goes down and falls into the bib, and then we suction out the bib, every 3 or 4 coughs. And, she's doing really good. Anything else new? Well, you wouldn't know. You're not even here. Oh, goodness.
Said you were going to talk about the MRI.
Oh, yeah. We have her MRI got approved. Now it got sent off to Care Source. So, in other words, the doctor says it's a necessary thing, and they sent it off to Care Source for approval. Now, that may take up to a month or so, but we also did the same thing with physical therapy to get her new AFOs because I bought the first set, but they might even cover them, you know. So, but now that she's moving more, we called into physical therapy and got her an appointment so that she can get evaluated now. And so whenever we get the approval for the MRI, she'll get her MRI and we'll see just how much more brain function she has now as she did when she went into the hospital, because we got the CT scan, which they're going to do the MRI and CT scan at the same time so they can compare the CT scans. Mm-hmm. But the MRI will tell us a whole lot more of the brain functions. And then we talked to the doctor about the Ambien trials, and he agreed to that, but after the MRI, he said. So that's supposed to work really well with patients with, what is this called? Anoxic brain injury, right. So it's actually helping anoxic brain injury patients wake up and be more alert. So I've been dying to get her on that for about 8 months now. And the doctor never heard of it. I had to give him a bunch of links and send him links and all that of all these different trials and, you know, where it's going on. And I found another trial, too, for ketamine. It's called ketamine infusion trials. And that's really helping people with their nerve endings and regrowing new nerve endings. And so she'll have, you know, that's what she needs to do because the part of her brainstem is what died from the lack of oxygen. So she has to reform pathways back, you know, to be able to do all this. And the ketamine infusion is supposed to help that. So I haven't even brought that up to the doctor yet. I'm still waiting on the Ambien trials to come through along with the MRI and the CAT scan. So once them are through, I can start on the doctor with this other thing. You know, I don't want him to be thinking like I'm calling up with every witch doctor, you know, therapy. Here, you say, hang a cat, you know, upside down by its, antlers, jackalope cat type, something like that. You know, I don't want to call him with this cockamamie stuff. I'm calling him with things that I can find out on the internet that is true and real, you know?
Right.
So that's our Tracy update. She's doing good. She's in there right now. I got her suction hooked up. Oh, nope, wrong. There we go. Now it'll work. That's the suction out of her. And I can turn it on and off from here. And I got her on my phone right here to where I can see her as we're doing this show. So, she's doing good and she ain't doing bad. So she's never taken a turn for the worse since this has happened. She come home, she got, you know, bigger. She got her body back. She got her filled out her arms. She came home a bag of bones with bed sores. She hasn't had a bed sore once since she's been home for a year now, something like that. And, you know, we have our routine that we do with her, and she gets her teeth brushed every day. She gets a bath every day. She gets, you know, her trach cleaned out twice a day. We have our routine down set. And she, you know, every time the doctors come here, they always say they're real proud of us on how well she's taken care of, that she wouldn't get this kind of care in a home. So that kind of makes me feel it's all been worth it, you know, because I have gone without so much sleep for the last year and a half. It's been crazy. And you know, but we're getting somewhere, so it makes it worth it.
So, you know, me and Diesel are sitting over here all cozy by this fireplace and whatnot, you know, getting ready to take a nap over here.
That's because you can't let him down. He'll take off.
He's free to go. You know, I want to go.
Oh, look at little Diesel.
He's got his spot. He's comfy. This
right,
dog, whenever I get home, he jumps right up into my lap and he doesn't leave.
Nice.
If you're laying down, he's laying down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you work, so he's at the house all day without you.
Yep.
So he wants to be with you when you're home. So I get that. It was different when he was here and he was always in my way. I go to walk by him and, you know, I got him on a leash in the kitchen so he don't go into the carpet or nothing because Josh was still potty training him when he was here back a while back. And so he was on like a 15-foot lanyard that would go into the silverware drawer and we'd close the drawer so he can go anywhere on the linoleum. But I'd go to walk towards him and he'd walk straight under my feet or between my legs. I'm like, stop. He'd trip me. You remember how many times he used to trip me?
Yeah.
I was like, Diesel, just don't move and I'll walk by. It'll be okay. But no, as soon as I get close to him, he'd jump up and go right between my legs. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling.
So the word for tonight. What you thinking?
Family, Christmas, goodness, cookies. You guys pick. Tell us what you guys want the word to be.
Well, a lot of people saying Merry Christmas, so I say Christmas.
Okay.
So we got paws and fins, $10. He said Christmas stacks for Diesel. Happy Xmas, everyone.
Aw, nice.
And we got
Let me add on to something to Tracy though. Let's do the bathroom. We tore that part. We started fixing it. We did this, and then that company came in. They agreed to. I hope you all saw the video. They agreed to do the bathroom, but we wanted a bigger shower, and they weren't okay to do the wall build out of 1 foot. So I was like, well, if we do the wall build out, you guys can just, do the shower then at 60 inches instead of 48. He says, you know what, I'll do that. So I'm thinking, good guy, he's working with us. Me, Josh, and Richie went in there and built this wall. Actually, Josh and Richie did most of the work. Built this wall a foot up, framed it, cut the carpet back, took up all the flooring, put the framing in, and then we called them. We're like, okay, what do you want the framing to be at? Because is that a 60-inch shower? Or is that 61 inches? Do you need 62 inches opening? What size opening do you need? He said 61 so they could shim it. Perfect. We made the opening at 61 inches. The walls, at 61 inches all the way down now. Got that done. They come in, they put in the shower. You saw the work on that. And, then we come back, and me and Josh sat there and did the drywall on the wall and started taping it. And our buddy Jason come over and helped us with some of the mudding and stuff. And we got the bathroom is done as far as drywall. And I got one more slight sanding to do, and it's done. I've got the carpet tools up there to now put in the carpet around the new wall because we had to cut the carpet back. So we're done. We did rip the counter they put in, the 2 cabinets, we ripped all that back out. So, because that was just ridiculous. She couldn't even fit her chair under it, so there was no reason to not have a full cabinet across there. Why have these 2 little 12-inch cabinets? And, it was useless.
Looks like child's play.
That's right. We had a big 36-inch cabinet, and it was full of stuff. Had 3 drawers and the whole underside full of stuff. Now we got 2 little 12-inch cabinets with 3 drawers each. All the stuff wasn't going to fit back there. So, if they're not going to make it to where she can't roll a chair under, then why don't we have a whole full cabinet across there? Okay. But she does need to have that cabinet opened up. Somebody got a hold of me today on YouTube about, we don't need the cabinet like that. We don't need the chair to go underneath. He goes up to it and he turns sideways and he's able to do it. But it hurts his back. Okay, why would you want that? If I have the opportunity to build it and I can make it 10 inches in to where she can get her legs under the sink and then her elbows can sit on the sink, she's got the sink right here. Why would you want to reach to it, So what I did was I bought a cabinet that is basically a square cabinet, 36 inches, and it's at the right height. It's at 34 inches. So now we're going to put the sink on top of that, and these 2 little gray cabinets are going to go on each side, and we're going to fill in the piece on top. So when she gets to the point where she's in the wheelchair and movable by herself, because right now we're just using the bathroom to give her a shower instead of washing her in the bed. So when she's up to where she can, brush her own teeth and do all that, I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 doors off the center and then the floor out of it, and she'll have the whole center section open and still the cabinets on the side, and she'll be able to roll in like that. So that's what I bought. And then I've also bought a 3-panel 48-inch mirror and a really nice LED crystal light that goes across the top of the mirror. It's like $800, but I have to finish the bathroom. They're not doing it. So we got that all. It'll be here on Monday, the 27th. So we're going to finish that bathroom for her and get it done. But one of our viewers on YouTube, and I can't tell you his company's name yet, he's going to be here Monday. He said, oh my God, I feel so bad. That's terrible work. I want to come up here and finish this job for you. I have the paint. I guess he has a construction company. He's got light gray paint. He's got the primer. He wants to come up and finish the drywall and paint everything and then build the bathroom for us. And I'm like, okay, that's great. I mean, and you know what Mara said to me? She goes, I don't know how you do it. I'm like, what? She goes, this world is so full of just mean, evil people, and you find the best people in the world. Like it's the crowd I hang with. I'm surrounded by good people, and good people want to help each other. You know, we go out and help people, and people want to come help us.
So what in the hell you doing hanging out with me?
Come on, now you get right there in the swear jar. Come on, you swore. Get it in there.
I said hell.
You're not putting money in. He don't play by the rules. So no, as soon as this guy comes up and he's doing this, I told him, I'm going to put your company on blast. I'm going to show everybody how you're willing to help and what a good guy you are. And, you know, it's a holiday spirit. I love it. I love surrounding myself with you guys and good people. This is just great.
So we have Terry Time, oldest and baddest, $5. She said, I fish you a Merry Christmas.
Aw, nice. Thank you.
We have Lasky and Sons Woodworking, $10. Said, Merry Christmas, guys. Just wanted to let you know I got my flagtail on order, and I got my quarantine tank set up and getting ready.
Awesome. You have now grown up. You are an official fish keeper. You have got the disease, and it's only going to get worse. But you got a flagtail. That's a beautiful fish. You're going to love that fish. You're going to love him.
And we got one more. We've got Brittany Ziblis, $10. Merry Christmas to you and the fam. Thank you for a fun year of amazing Friday nights. Much love from the Ziblises.
Thank you. See, now I met these guys because her husband called me and said, oh, you're going to be in Chicago. I would like to come and donate my time and video for you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, great. So he did. And we did the video. And that was when I met Brett Raymer. Had a great time. And then next thing I know, you know, his wife is our mod, and now he's our mod, and she's on this cooking thing. She cooks really well, and then she displays it. I mean, she's on these cooking channels. She's putting pictures up, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm like, you know, Tracy should have gotten into something. It should have been cooking. I would have appreciated that. But thank you guys. Now we got the best mods ever now. There's, you know what? Out of the 4 years I've been doing this, there's no arguing between our mods. I mean, oh my God, I had Miss Metalhead here wanted me to fire Janie, and so I'm like, I'm not firing Janie. You know, and she's a sweetheart. She does great work, you know, and she was the first one to get us some food donated to the place from a company. I'm like, so that's what started the troubles with the Metalheads and us, is she wanted Janie fired and I wouldn't do it. I'm like, can you just ignore her, please? Just calm down, ignore her. And that's what started it. I wouldn't do this for her. So, you know, they're gone. But, you know, when you surround yourself with good people, you eliminate the ones that cause problems and you keep the people that are good people. So, you know, Janie has done nothing but good since. All of our mods, they all get along. We've got a bunch of new mods that are like 2 months old now, and they all get along. Everybody gets along. I don't have mods hitting on other mods. I mean, it was crazy for a while. I was like, guys, this ain't a dating site. Please stop hitting on the mods. That's just going to lead to trouble. You know, we're here to help the people, and you know, it was just crazy. And this has been like the last 2 months has been enjoyable, and you know, the last few months before that, which we were working harder, was enjoyable, you know. And now everybody has a little bit to do instead of 3 or 4 people have a lot to do. So it's much better. I like this. I love our mod family. They're great, and you know, I want them there helping out all the fishy people. And you know, I tell them rules don't really matter as long as people don't sell or try and sell on our site, because they will take down Ohio Fish Rescue for that. That is a big no-no. Anything else, here's the rule. If it helps somebody, let it through. You know, somebody busted a 150-gallon tank. I got my fish in the bathtub. Please help. This guy says, I've got a 150-gallon tank. I'll give you it for $50. Well, we're not a buy and sell for him, but let that through, because that's going to help, you know. You know, that's what I mean. Just what would Rich do? You know, let it through. And we've been living by that. And these guys get it, and they're doing it, and it's working. So the more help we can do for people, that's the things we let through. So everything's where I'm loving life right now. Well, except for the Tracy thing. Other than that, the whole OFR is running smoothly, and you know, I like it better than it ever has been. It's and including with our invasion of these bots. Oh my God. If you're ever online and you see a girl that says, hey, how you doing? You know, DM me. That's not some girl. That's a bot. That's either a computer or some, I don't want to say. It's not a hot young girl. Trust me, hot young girls do not need to reach out to people to talk to them. Okay. So, you know, we have been invaded with them. And that was our biggest problem lately on the forum was these bots. Oh my God, you know, and you know, I accept everybody as my friends and stuff, and then I accept people as friends, and all of a sudden they're like, how you doing? What's your name? What do you mean, what's my name? You asked me for a friend request. I accept it. Now you want to know my name? Nah, I'm busy. So usually what I do is I put in there, how can I help you? When they say hello or hi or whatever, how can I help you? But one girl was like, oh, that's rude. I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm a busy man. How can I help you? You know, I'm not here to talk to fake girls on the internet. That don't thrill me. So we have weeded through them, and it seems like we've got it under control. It's getting a lot easier now.
All right, we have the Headache Aquarium Bowl, $10. He said, thank you for all the support the past few weeks. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks. What's his kid's names? Do you remember him?
I don't know the kid.
I am so sorry. I used to know them, but I'd meet so many people, and you know, Eric's like family to us. You know, him and his wife are like family. I forgot to, and they're such sweetheart kids too. They made Tracy that whole it was a coloring book of fish and stuff, and they're great kids. But you know, thank you guys, thank you. I mean, you guys are awesome, and now they're starting a new endeavor. They're moving from New York down to I think it's South Carolina or something like that, and they're moving out to the woods, and he's getting acres. He lives in New York. He don't know nothing about acres. You know? His front yard was like 20 by 16, you know. Now he's getting, I think it was 3 acres or something like that, or 10 or something. Oh my God, he's going to have a different life, you know, and it's so much cheaper for him too. So yeah, he's moving on. They're gonna enjoy being down there.
Best of luck.
Best of luck, buddy.
We have Leigh Shelton, $5. Says, Happy Christmas, me old muckers.
You know who Lee Shelton is?
No.
He's a buddy of mine from way over there across the pond, and we just hit it off. You know, he's crazy. He does artwork, and he shows me his pond out back's got like gargoyles of water coming out of him, and artwork on the side of this huge statue of this demon coming at you. And, I mean, he does really nice work, and he's got a tattoo of a face on the back of his head. He's something. He's a buddy of mine.
We got Reaper, $5. He said, Merry Christmas, everyone, and hashtag Team Tracy.
What's up, Reaper? Too bad you couldn't be here for the special Christmas episode, buddy. I should have brought Dawn out and came on. You got time. It's a 2-hour show. Bring her on out. That's my buddy.
All right, so we're caught up on the chat. So you want to get into some discussion topics?
Sure. You guys got any questions out here and need any help or anything?
Someone early on asked about upcoming projects. Can we talk about our upcoming projects?
Sure. Okay.
You pick one, and I'll pick one.
All right. Our most immediate project is we built a turtle enclosure, and I said turtle. Yes, tortoises are turtle, people. Tortoises are a turtle. Not all turtles are tortoises, though. Okay, so get that. Don't correct me when I say turtle, because it is a turtle. It's a tortoise. But the tortoise enclosure, I made the housing part of it too small, but I was using what I had left in wood, hoping it would work. The first time they went in there, he tried turning around. I'm like, oh, that ain't going to work. So what we're doing now is I'm looking for a rectangle water bowl, something about 3 inches tall. I can move all the sand, put down, and then bring the housing over to it so that this whole area of the pen isn't used. There's water, and then there's the sleeping area. So that's going to be my next little project here that I'm trying to concentrate on. Because right now we've got the round water dish, which don't fit in a square pen, and then a round food bowl. And we would rather, Josh came up with a great idea just tonight. We were out there and I was feeding them and stuff. He says, why don't we just hang a little whisk broom right here? And then anytime you want to feed them, brush off the rocks and then put the food on the rock. That's great. We don't even need a food pen in there, a food bowl now. So that works good. So we're going to bring the water over to the sleeping area, and that's going to work best for us. We also have to take and put a strainer over the overflow on the water, because one of the turtles went in there and pooped, and it floated, and it got caught into the, and I'm having to go in there. Now I got to go in there because now the water's overflowing the thing, and I'm going in there, and there's a little round thing sticking out the end of the hose, and I have to dig at it and stuff, and I ended up pushing it in farther. I'm like, oh, man. So I got the hose, and I shoved the hose in there and let the water overflow and push it through, and it went out the other side, and it started draining again. But I don't want to do that again. So we need a little strainer, a little wire. You stop laughing at me.
All I'm thinking about right now is that scene from Joe Dirt. Oh no, I got poop on me.
So I want to get a little strainer so that never happens again. Because, you know, Hoover comes in from the fish room. He's like, hey, Rich, there's some water on the floor. I'm like, oh no. You know, you all know that feeling.
All right, so now that you got that one there, I've got the next project I'm working on is next week. I'm starting the trek to go pick up this 1,000-gallon aquarium in California.
Oh, you're going to California next week?
Yeah.
Wow.
So for one, to make that happen, that 450-gallon tank is getting booted from the fish room, and it's going to be, you know, sold off. And then once we get the new 1,000-gallon in, and it's in this room, we will then start
now, what's
working.
the footprint on that?
8 by 4 by 4, and it's 2-inch thick.
Where is that going to go?
Already got it. If you listen to my story.
Do you guys get treated like this by your kids?
Have a little patience. You're going to remember us talking about this. But once the 1,000-gallon tank is now in the fish room, sitting in place where the 450 is now, we can then start working on this one task. And this one task here involves moving the 650 dog bone. Mr. Santa Claus over here said that he wanted to build a new stand for it that could withstand the shallow end of the monster pond.
Oh, yeah.
So what that would allow us to do is then that would gain us 12 foot of room right there. Instead of a shallow, 22-inch tank, we can now have 4 foot of space.
4 foot of water.
And we can have more tanks on this rack, and it would be then a show tank, 4 foot column of water. And so it's a beautiful tank.
It has a stand, right?
It has a steel stand with a brand new wooden facade.
So it's going to be a tall tank. We're going to have problems now because right now we have water draining from the 4,000 over to the Stingrays. And if you take that Stingray tank out there and put a tall tank on there, we won't have that availability of siphoning.
See, my idea to fix all this is, you know what? Like, you're always, the siphons are always starting and stopping. You have to always start them because they suck air or a fish comes over and, knocks them out this time. Who goes in there thinking it'll be funny, he pulls one out, says, ha, Rich will fix this one. I'm joking.
He putting you out there, Who? But you really do this kind of thing? I thought you was my friend.
But I just think it would be a lot easier just to have one single pump. Maybe if we secured like a 20-gallon, container to the ceiling somehow up to the rafters, have a pump pumping up there from the 4400, so you don't need a lot of head. You can use a smaller pump, and then you could then run lines off of that with a valve.
So lucky I'm not drinking.
You can run a valve to each tank, and then an overflow back to, the
we can make that work.
So there's ways to make it work. You just get the tanks in place first and figure all that out. So yeah, that's the next big project I'm working on. There is a 500-gallon cube that'll get fixed in due time.
I've been hearing you talk about this forever. I was talking to Christy. I was like, you know what? I should take that waterfall, that sand waterfall, and put it in another tank because people love that. And Josh ain't getting around to fixing this. So let's put this in another tank. And I start thinking of what tanks, because you haven't fixed it.
Well, soon, guys, soon. With everything else going on.
Well, guys, our buddy Hoover is here. Step into the frame for a minute, Hoov. He's been helping us out around here an awful lot, you know. Let me suction her. He's been helping us out around here, and you know, here's the problem with Hoov. He's like, "Oh, you want this done? Okay." And then he's like, "Well, this needs done." He grabs this and he grabs it. I'm like, "Hoov, stop! No!" And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "We're not doing that. We're doing it like this." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And then I tell him to do this, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I can help him do this, and I can do that." And I'm like, "Hoov, stop!" He's trying to help, and he's doing so much that we're not doing. You don't move this, don't ever move that. You know what I'm saying? And we have oh, by the way, have you guys noticed the camera? This is that Logitech Brio, most best camera for webcam. Look at this. See my hand next to my face? Now, look at my hand. That's crazy. So the farther I reach in, the bigger my hands get. But yeah, Hoov's been helping us out an awful lot. He's helped me, doing all the stuff on the ground because it hurts me to bend over. So he's been doing that. And he's the one that called me can't bend over like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that name stuck with you for a
good while.
Well,
here's the thing. Now he's grunting. I'm like, see, Hoov? It caught up to you. Now it's got you. Because he goes to get up. He's like, oh.
Let's talk about the measurement of the belly, though.
Stop it.
All right, we got Ange for $20. She said, "Merry Christmas, can't stay, but wanted to send my love. You guys rock. Hashtag Team Tracy."
Oh, Ange, you should stay. We love having you here. But Merry Christmas. Have a good time with your family.
Christmas, Fishy fan. So that was a good one.
Love her.
That last question was pretty good. Let's see if I can find another good one. Jason Sapp said, "What's the measurement on the 450, Josh? I might buy it if I can fit it in my house." It is 8 by 3 by 30. It's
with the canopy and a stand.
Gallons. So here's the deal with the 450 gallon tank. You guys all seen it got resealed. Well,
we were told that it just leaked water.
Well,
so Josh resealed it.
Yeah, but then realized I used acrylic silicone instead of the 100% acrylic or the 100% silicone made for glass. So I don't trust it. So anybody who wants the tank, I'm just gonna say, just go ahead and rip it all back out and reseal.
You should just cut a section out so they have to do it.
Yeah. So
because it will fail.
Yeah, the tank is as is. That they make this new acrylic silicone that's made for plastic. It bonds really strong to plastic, but on glass, it might last, a month or 2 or 3, and then it just starts peeling off and delaminating.
Yeah, it's not good.
So that was my mistake. But
ooh, you're gonna get burned. You're right by the fire. Your butt's gotta get warm.
You cheap thing. Someone said I need a mullet. Closest thing to a mullet for me will be this. I actually buzzed my head. Now my head's cold.
I tell you what, one of the ideas I have for a new video coming up.
What's that?
Is to try and explain to people, because this kills me, and I run across it almost every day of my life, how to tell what your water change schedule can be. And I can tell you exactly how to do it, because I get this all the time. I got a 55 gallon. My neighbor changes their water once a month, so I do the same. How does that work? It's never the same as anybody else's. You don't feed the same. You don't have the same stock. You may have more fish and you feed more, so you're going to need more water changes. I mean, it's just crazy that people are like, my neighbor does it once a month. I'll do it once a month. That's not how you do it. And I want to do basically a class to show you exactly how to tell when your water change schedule should be. Because basically the only reason for a water change is to lower your nitrates. Because everything else gets handled by bacteria. Your ammonia gets turned into nitrites. Your nitrites get turned into nitrates. You remove the nitrates by water changes. And to me, it's all so simple. But, you know, I forget there's people out there just buying a tank and, you know, well, you know, my aunt changes hers every 2 weeks and 20%, you know, or 10%. Or, you know, my uncle changes his 50% every week. Well, you know what? You could be doing more damage to the fish and, you know, add more chlorine and stuff in there and then having to do the dechlor and all that kind of stuff. If you could know what your schedule is, then you'd know. You might not need to do it once every 3 months, you know, say 30%. You might have to do it once a week, and you're only doing it once a month because your neighbor does. Well, you know what that's doing? Your nitrates are getting up to 80. You're doing a 30% water change. You're bringing it down to, like, say, 60. And then a month later, it's up to 120. You're bringing it down to 90. And then a month later, it's up to 150. And you're bringing it down to 110. I mean, it's just getting worse. And then one day, you're like, I don't know why all my fish died. Well, because the nitrates are ridiculous. So I can tell you exactly how to figure out your own tank schedule. You might be changing the water too much. You might be doing it way less. The odds that you're changing the exact amount of water you need to change are ridiculous that you're doing it right. Trust me.
Yeah, and
That's my idea for a video.
I can do that video in about 30 seconds. So you're going to have to elaborate on that and really get in there nitty gritty.
No. Even if I would to explain it now, it would take me at least 5 minutes. So with explaining and then showing, I'm telling you, it's going to be a good video. I like that idea as a video.
I'm not denying that, but I'm just...
See, you grow up and know what I've been putting you through, and you take it as normal. Other people buy a tank and they don't know normal. They know what their neighbor does. Well, what did the neighbor find out? He found out from it what his uncle does. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know this.
All right. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. I'm now reading them. Someone asked if we send shirts to UK.
You know what? We don't have the shirts here. We use the spring thing on every video. Any video that we put out, you can look underneath it. It's called a shelf. You'll see 4 or 5 different shirts, you know. You can click on that and it takes you to the store. The store will ship worldwide. So if it's really expensive, you can always contact me. I can send you the logos, and then you can go ahead and get them printed on a t-shirt company close to you. Let's say you're in Australia, and it's $20 shipping. I can send you the logos for free. You can go, to your local t-shirt shop there and get a shirt printed off for $25, $19, whatever it is, and you supply the logos. And then you have an Ohio Fish Rescue shirt, where it would have cost you 3 times that much paying for the shirt and having it shipped to where you're at. So there's always that option, guys.
All right. We've got Dewey Bazima, $5. He said, Merry Christmas and bless you all.
Aw.
Poet me Cornicer from Netherlands, Holland.
Okay. You were so intense. Look at me. This is you on your phone. You were like...
I had to sound it out.
Well, thank you very much. So yeah, I'm going to do that video because I think everybody should know. And once you understand it, this is like, wow, this is so simple. It's work, at first. But once you get your schedule down, then your tank's always staying at the right, nitrate level. And then if you add plants like pothos or something in there, you can actually elongate your changing water schedule between changing, water, because the plants are eating the nitrates, and the pothos grows with the tanks. I've got pothos in all my tanks. Well, all that will support it. If I have a tank close to the ceiling, I can't have a light above it. There's no pothos there.
Got Audrey Sampson, $5.
Oh, she brought out the flagtail. What was his name?
Rio,
that was it. Yep. He's still here. He's still doing good.
says some Christmas dinner for Rio and the Phoenix.
If I would have just waited a second, I didn't know. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Audrey. She's a good girl. She come out here and she was like, "Oh my God, this is a perfect place for my Rio," you know. And we put him in the 1800 Bellagio community tank, and he's in there with I think 2 other flagtails, and you know they're loving life. They're loving life.
603 living $5. Merry Christmas, you to both and to the entire fishy community.
Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas to you too.
Jeff says, any chance you guys would ever do a massive nano tank?
Well, nano in description means small.
Mhm.
So if we do a massive nano tank, I think he means a big tank with little fish.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about it. I would love to have like that Matt's Monster Fish tank. Fill that up with sand and put a little rock gravel driveway in the middle, and then fill it up with rocks and live plants on each side, and then fill it full of cardinal tetras. Beautiful, beautiful. They all swim together, and you go and you come up close to the tank, and they all go like. I mean, it's a beautiful tank. If anybody's ever seen that, that is beautiful. Or like longfin danios. I love them. They're not really that colorful, but man, the long fins and how fast they swim, you know, makes it look just amazing.
Especially if you get them breeding in there and take over.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be a great tank. You know, we're known for, Ohio Fish Rescue is known for monster fish. That's our forte. But I mean, we do keep some guppies here. Anytime I get guppies, they go to Reaper or other people, but we do have that globe tank. Now, we made the mistake of putting that lobster in there, and we found out he was eating some of our guppies. So, oops, that was bad. But our guppy tank is thinned out now, so I whatever I could catch in there, I gave to Reaper. And he's got a beautiful guppy tank now full of all kinds of guppies. And, you know, we throw food in there for the lobster. I don't know what else can you put in with a lobster? Tell us, guys. You know, I haven't kept all my life small fish. So what can you put in with the lobster other than large fish? And then large fish, I don't want anything that would kill the lobster. So if you guys got any ideas, let us know.
Todd's asking if a fish is showing signs that it could be dying. What's the best treatment? It's kind of hard to say without knowing why the fish is sick. I noticed there was a red tail, I believe you mentioned. Yeah, I just say if you can send me a picture and a private message, I can see what I can do about helping. But
and please turn your camera up to high resolution when you take these. I get sent pictures daily, and I go to zoom in on them, and I can't see nothing. You know, take a high res picture of your fish and then send it to us, and then we'll try and help. We got a picture here or a comment here that I think we have to talk about. Josh, are you going to have any tanks at your house? Everybody thinks that you're going to load your house up full of tanks. Now, I want to say that Josh has absolutely no tanks, not going to have tanks, doesn't want tanks. He comes by here nightly to take care of these tanks. And, you know, he does the night feeding. And he's liking the break away from the fish world because we've done it for years since you've been a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, do have pea buffers at the house, and that's it.
Well, that's a little 20, 30 gallon tank, pea puffers. So he's got a tank, but nothing that we can, you know, he's not going to have hundreds of gallons over the thousands of gallons over there.
And the reasoning behind that is, you know, we've built up this whole collection here, and everyone can still come and enjoy it. If we start branching off and breaking apart, then, you know, I'm taking the fish that I want and I care
you should see the 2-foot pair at Josh's house.
Yeah. Tiger fish, the goons. You're like, oh man, those things are awesome. And you know what? You're doing it in two different places, you're then doing a lot more work. You know, we've got everything streamlined here, drains in the floors. We have a system down. You come over, do water changes easily instead of, you know, you set up a tank and you might be doing water changes by buckets again, taking me back to the Stone Ages. Not cool.
You say back to the Stone Ages, but our buddy Reaper was just doing that like yesterday. I gave him a python. You know what he says?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're giving that tank to Mara. Give her the python you gave me because I don't use it. I'm like, Reaper, I gave you that so you didn't have to do buckets no more. He goes, well, we fill buckets all the time for our plants. But that don't mean you should keep hook it up to your sink and fill your tank. Because sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks, you know? So he brought it back, and now we're giving it to Mara with her tank.
Nice.
Ah, goodness. So yeah, that's an idea of an upcoming video I got. What do you got?
A tour of my house.
We have all been waiting for that. I have tried to get you guys a tour of his house, and he will not let me. I go over there, and he's like, no, I pull out my camera, he grabs it. He will not let me. So I'm like, why? He goes, not until I moved in and it's done. I'm like, Josh, moving in will take 10 years. 10 years from now, you'll still say you're not done. We've been here almost 10 years, and I'm still working on the house. Whole new bathroom.
There's not boxes sitting by this wall waiting to be hung up on the wall or
Right.
Stuff like that.
Okay. Comanta says, did you give Mara her tank yet? It is right in this next room right here. She's seen it. We haven't given it to her. Her boyfriend is something else, so we have to figure out a time that he's not going to be there and that we can, you know, load up a couple people and take it over there and set it up for her, you know. It's airing family laundry if I tell you anything. So it's just he's not allowed here. He's a little guy and he's very, very, very. Let's move on.
So Brittany just came in with a good comment. She said, someone mentioned putting more tanks in the gym room now that Josh has moved out. Here's what we did. If you guys would watch the videos.
If you would watch the videos, I tell all my friends this.
We started this movement on the behind the scenes channel. You guys can actually see part of my gym room at my new house. I let Reaper go ahead and film that, but we brought the Smith machine
now,
over.
mind you, he's told me no like 6 times before that, and now I'm over there and he's like, oh, sure, Reap. I'm like, are you serious? Go ahead.
So we went ahead and brought, you know, the Smith machine over, which was the final piece to the gym room over there, which opened up this whole space in the basement here. We had all of those tools just sitting against the wall right next to the monster pond. So we took all those tools, moved them down to the basement where they're nice, neatly organized and not crammed together.
In other words, if you want to get the pressure washer out, you can just grab the pressure washer and pull it out. You don't have to take the table saw off of it and the router table off of it and the ropes or the hoses for the, you know, oh my goodness. It was so crammed up here. Now it's nice. I can just grab what I need and go. It makes it a lot easier.
We also took a bunch of stuff from outside. We brought it inside that should not be outside, like the awesome transport tub that Greg Woodstock donated to us, because that is a rubber pond.
Vinyl.
What happens when that
Gets
freezes
cold.
And you
move it,
you're
cracks.
taking the words right out of my mouth.
I'm trying to finish your sentences, son. Who I need help in here. This kid don't listen to me no more.
So that what that allowed us to do is open up more room in the pond room. For
The
more
pool
tanks.
room, yes.
More tanks.
Well, more tanks, yes. Okay. I don't remember who it was, but I'm sorry. I don't remember your name, but I saw the question up there. It said something about you said when we come down, we're going to set up Matt's Monster Fish Tank as the saltwater. Well, that was an idea, and we were going to do that. But we ended up getting a 6-foot, 220-gallon tank. So that's what's going to go against the wall by the door because it's only 2 foot wide and not 4 foot wide. You open the door, and then you got to move sideways to get past the 4-foot tank. So Matt's Monster Fish wouldn't have worked as the saltwater, as well as this 220 will work for the saltwater and right where we want it, you know? So that's, I mean, plans change all the time. That's what we agreed to now is that 220 is going to be saltwater, and that's why I've been stacking up all the saltwater supplies. You know, somebody said, it looks like you're just moving piles from piles. Well, yes, we moved all the tools out of there, and we put all the saltwater stuff there. But that's in preparation for the saltwater tank to go there. We have to build a stand for it. We got the tank. Then we can put all this stuff in there because in my little 80-gallon saltwater tank is a bunch of purple coralline algae.
Yeah.
And the rocks are all purple and stuff. So what I'm going to do is take the white dead rocks and stagger them throughout there and then put this purple coralline algae rocks all through it and put both of my reef lights on it, and we're good to go. You know, it'll eventually all be purple at that point. And move it into the 220. So I've got all the supplies, all the rocks, everything I need for that tank. We just have to build this stand. We're waiting for another 55, 60-degree day. I don't know if it's going to come. It might. With this weather we're having,
Tomorrow
who knows?
it's supposed to be upwards of 60.
It's going to be 60 tomorrow?
Yeah.
We can build a stand for the 220 in like a half hour.
Well, wood. Home Depot's closed.
Oh, see, now there's our problem. Now Home Depot's closed until Monday because of Christmas. Don't they know I'm not even celebrating Christmas? I got work to do. All right, you got this one here. Oh, Steven, our buddy, Steven. He's like my brother from another mother. I love this guy. He says, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, say Feliz Navidad to Paco. Okay, I will. He's glad he's in Brooklyn for the Feast of the Seven Fishes tonight. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm figuring it's something to do with Spanish traditions. But yes, I will. All of our fish are getting special food for Christmas too. Yes, yes, yes. You guys got to know that. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it, brother. And I will say Feliz Navidad to Paco and everybody out there that, you know, it's appropriate too.
603 says, why not use the 540 next to the quarantine system for the salt like Rich wanted to in the first place? Well, let me tell you something. The 580-gallon
Wait a
set
minute.
up
Wait a
next
minute.
to the goldfish
Just
tank.
because I want something don't mean it's going to happen because I have to argue with this guy.
It already has fish in it. If you would have watched actually tomorrow's video.
Wow, look at you go.
It happened like last week, so it's, you know, pastime for me. But, you know, we had Hubert in there for the longest time.
And now Hubert's back in our dog bone tank and he's doing good. Everything's fine.
So we went ahead and put some other fish in there. So we'll, you guys will see that tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Bambi McCluskey says, that new baby girl or boy of yours, Josh? Is there something you're not telling me?
I don't know. I got this nice puppy here.
Okay. And then
Something
the
about
lungfish.
lungfish?
I just can't with the awe and the excitement of that face. Oh yeah, she loves that little lungfish. He's so cute. But you know, that kind of comment, you know, you don't tell a dad there's a new little girl or boy because I'm waiting for grandchildren.
You're going to be waiting a long time.
Wait, do you live with your woman?
Yes.
It ain't gonna be that long.
Doesn't your other two sons live
Yes,
with their
they live with
fiancés?
their fiancés too. And I'm thinking, you know, Richard's 33, Richie's 30, you're 26. Y'all should have gave me grandchildren already.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't said a question and I lost it here. Jay Rich says, do you think the Rays aren't reproducing now because they have so much space in the pool?
Oh, no.
They're going at it.
They are going at it. They are. We're actually worried about the females. We're thinking just today we were talking about taking some of the females out because they're getting tore up. I think it was a move to different types of water, like California's water is maybe a different pH. So the first month and a half that they were here, it took a while to like get you. But now, oh, it's on. It's like I'm playing Barry White music out there. We're like, leave her alone.
Dougie said, very important question. Do you Americans have pigs in a blanket at Christmas?
No, but I love pigs in a blanket. This kid has never experienced it because my grandmother was Polish and she had pigs in a blanket all the time. And I loved them. Okay. I didn't like the cabbage. It's cabbage rolled up with like hamburger meat and rice inside, you know. I loved them, but I didn't like the cabbage as a kid. So I'd pull the cabbage aside and eat the insides. And I love stuffed green peppers too. Oh, awesome. And, you know, it's something I never made for the kids. I don't know why. It never even dawned on me. But you've never got to experience this.
I've had pigs in a blanket.
From where?
Festivals? Food festivals?
Festivals?
I mean, it's not something
Pigs in a blanket at a food festival is a hot dog dipped in like cake batter and deep fried. I mean, we're talking meat, you know, rice, maybe some green peppers and onions in there, definitely onions, and then rolled up in a slice of a thing of cabbage. Roll that up and you cook them with spaghetti sauce over them. Oh my God, they're so good. My mouth's watering right now. You make me miss my mom.
Next question. Ever thought of having a jellyfish?
Jellyfish are cool, and you know the best thing about having a jellyfish is being able to tell people, "Oh, we have a jellyfish." But basically, you got to put them in a special tank that is rounded, and you got to have air going up so they are just constantly doing this. And then you got to feed them special food and all that. I mean, if you really, you know, if you got tattoos of jellyfish, you draw a jellyfish on your notepads or whatever, and you're infatuated with jellyfish, then get you a jellyfish tank. Other than that, they're kind of useless. I mean, they don't do nothing. You put food in there, they don't come over and nail them. They don't come over and eat, you know. They put food in there and they keep doing their thing, going around and around, you know.
Kathy Murphy, $70, says, my dear fellows, so great to see you having fun together. Prayers for our Tracy and some bucks for the animals.
Thank
Rich,
you,
I hope
Kathy.
someone gives you some turkey and stuffing.
Aw, she's so sweet. I love that all of our friends are like our family now. I love this. I mean, she's a sweetheart. Look at that. You know, if people actually care about your real, you know, okay. Oh, you've got a truck. Hey, can you come over and help me? That's not really a friend. That's an acquaintance. But, you know, someone that says, hey, I want you to experience, you know, some food on your holiday. You know, that's a friend right there. You know, she cares about your needs, you know. I love that. I love my fishy family. You guys rock. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Captain Stanley says, what do you guys use for internal parasites? Metro is so expensive. So whenever I do parasites, I use two things. I do Metro and I do Tracy. That's the only thing.
But Metro's so expensive. He's looking for a surefire cure that's
I
cheaper.
wish there was, but there's really not. I mean, half the time, the best cure, if you don't know what's going on with your fish, you know it's something either, you know, parasitic or bacterial. You get in there, you use general cure, and what that is, that's a mixture of Metro and Prazi, and it's combined into the same pack, and it's just a general cure for a majority of the diseases and sicknesses out there.
Nice, nice.
Diesel, are you farting? Jesus.
Bambi McCluskey says Polish food or Polish fan food is the best. Pierogies. Oh my God, Polish food rocks. If you guys never had pierogies, go get some. If you've never had sausage and sauerkraut, go get some. Look up the Polish eateries in your area and eat some Polish food. It is really, really, really good. Oh my goodness. They had these. My grandma used to do something with mashed potatoes with onions, and I'm like, ew, and she'd make patties out of them. I don't know what they're called, but oh my God, I didn't like onions. It was ew. But man, these fried up patties was mashed potatoes and onions, and I loved them. They were great.
Paul Atkins says, Josh sent me some bucks earlier. Love watching you guys. And what does Rich slurp from that massive cup? He certainly levens up as the stream goes on.
Well, you know that I take care of Tracy, so I cannot get drunk. I cannot get passed out. I cannot, so I have 1 cup. This is like Sesame Street. 2 cups. 3 cups. That's all I allow myself on a Friday night to hang out with you guys. And after the show, I have to stop drinking because I have to stay up the rest of the night and take care of Tracy. So this is vanilla vodka, 2 fingers in the cup. There you go. That's the cup right there. 2 fingers in that cup is about 1/4 of the cup. And then you fill it with, you put 1 Great Crush. It's made by the company Crush, I guess it's called. Is the company, right?
I have no idea who makes Crush. I think
It says Crush, and then it's grape flavored or watermelon or
it's made
orange.
by Pepsi.
Okay, whatever. But it's 0 calories, 0 carbs. It's an additive for water. But I'm telling you, with the vanilla vodka and the Grape Crush, it tastes like my dad's huge overgrown grapes he had when I was growing up that would grow out on the vines in the yard. They were so sweet. They were like not, okay, how can I explain this? Down in Florida, you can pick a grapefruit off of a tree and it will taste so sweet and good. But you get grapefruit up here and it's so tart and nasty. That's the difference. Now, this drink tastes just like my dad's overgrown, huge grapes. They were awesome. And this brings back memories of nostalgia for me, but 0 calories, 0 carbs. I use Burnett's vodka because I've tried all kinds of vodka. Grey Goose, Tito's, all that. Absolute. They all taste like rubbing alcohol. I don't like that. And it seems like the more you pay for the bottle, the more rubbing alcohol it tastes like. Burnett's is cheap, $7.99 a bottle. And you got a bottle, and I can make 5 drinks out of that. And well, they stopped making vanilla, so I now use the whipped cream. Burnett's whipped cream. Tastes just like vanilla. And, it's cheap. And I add it to my drink, and it's good to go. It tastes really good, and 0 calories, 0 carbs. And this is my Friday night. I get to let loose with you guys.
So, yes, Crush is made by Pepsi,
Okay.
and Coca-Cola competes with it with their Fanta and Sunkist.
Ah, okay. Well, these are little single packs. They're made to add to water. You open up one, you add it to a thing of water. And I put 2 fingers of vodka in here. I have 1 Great Crush, and I fill it up with water. So I'm hydrating while I'm drinking.
We have Alexander Engelhart, $50. Says, happy holidays. Apparently YouTube has super chat limits per week, so it's half number this time. Frowny face. Well, that don't matter, bud. We're
not here to get your money. We thank you and appreciate you wanting to help. Thank you. You're here, even if you don't, you don't send no money, we'll still talk to you. We're good.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Yes. Brittany says, have you ever had axolotls rescued? Yes, we have brought so many axolotls in here, and we give them out to, we know 2 different axolotl rescues. And then one of our members or one of our mods mess with axolotls too. And then also, who was the other one? One of our friends do axolotls. But anyways, as soon as they come in, we give them out to the rescues because that's a different type of taking care of. You know, you got to have a certain temperature, you got to feed them a certain way, and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, we don't take on they don't need our expertise. So we give them out to, you know, many people that we know.
All right, so we're halfway through this stream already. So if you guys want questions, get them in the chat.
Jay Rich says, it'd be cool if you had an octopus. Tracy Morgan's tanked episode is probably my favorite. How dare you? You know what your favorite tanked episode should be? The Bellagio tank episode, because we have them here. You can watch it and say, I know where them tanks are. I know, I see them every day. No, Tracy Morgan, when he built, not his first tank down in the basement, but when he got his new house and he built that big tank outside, now that's a nice tank. You know what I'm saying? So, but he wanted big sharks.
Brittany Boynak says, how long do silver dollars live for? My dad has two that are between 16 and 20 years old. Also, if I may ask, how big does Synodon's catfish get?
What's your biggest Synodonus? You got like 7 or 8 out there.
The largest I've seen them, and you know, it differs with the species. Some might get a few inches and some might get around 12. But the general rule of thumb, your normal Synodonus are about 10 to 12 inches or so. As far as a silver dollar, also depends on the species. I've had silver dollars that live for 16 years when their life expectancy is supposed to be 10.
Our big Mila Schemberke, the big, huge wide bars, they were going to 19 years old, and they were as big around as a dinner plate. And they had a bar across the center the size of my 3 fingers. They were huge. The Cleveland Zoo wanted them from us really bad. But I was like, no, they're so old. They're going to die anytime now because they have a 10-year life expectancy. But in captivity, they can live longer. But the Cleveland Zoo wanted them really bad. And I said no to them because they're going to be so old. You know, I don't want to stress them out anymore. There's something here. Within that year, we had like 7 of them drop off. And it was like one, he'd be laying on his side on the bottom, still breathing. The next day, he'd be dead. 3 months later, another one on his side on the bottom. And I'm like, oh, my God, you know, they're all dying. You know, within a year and a half, they all died off. And now we don't have any more of the big wide bars of that crowd. But we had them for many, many, many years. But the problem is they have a shelf life, basically. They do expire, you know. If humans live to be 80 and you've never ran across any problem that has, you know, taken out a human before 80, after 80, you start degrading so much. 90, you're walking around and it's hard. It's hard to step up. It's hard to get upstairs. At 100 years old, you're barely moving. But people have lived to 105, you know. But that's not saying every silver dollar will live to 20 years. If they have a good life, they can live up to that. But their suggested life expectancy is 10 years.
Diesel. All right, we got Will Star, $10. He said,
Merry Will Star's here. Yay.
Merry Christmas, Bigrich and Josh and everyone.
You know, he texts me all the time, but he don't stop over. He don't stop over. Now, he knows all my kids have moved out. And I'm in this house by myself. And he don't stop over. What's up, Will Star? You know, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, please stop over. Anybody, anyone, come on.
Someone asked, what's the drinking word? I'm juiced up tonight.
Yes.
It's Christmas.
Christmas. Or any way of saying it. Xmas, Christmas, you know, whatever.
Sue Ann and Steve said, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, thank you. And Merry Christmas right back to you and your family.
I had a question and it just jumped on it. Favorite fish that you have?
Mine, everybody knows, is Big Brutus. The Arapaima. I mean, everyone knows that.
No,
What's yours?
2.
Yours is the Goonch and the Chow?
No,
that's my
yours.
favorite.
Tigerfish.
Tigerfish, that's it. The GATF.
And let me tell you, this guy is pounding down the worms.
Oh my God.
So-
We gave him Josh gave him an 8-inch long night crawler tonight. And what's he, about 6 inches?
Yeah.
It was an 8-inch night crawler. Is that what you're laughing for?
No, that sentence started out very, very wrong.
Okay. So he ate a huge night crawler tonight, man. And, you know, he wouldn't eat in front of us. We had to walk away from the tank. And then we go back, and the night crawler's gone, and his belly is huge.
So for the longest time, this guy would not eat nothing except
for live.
Yeah, so we'd, give him a little bit to sustain life, and then you starve the fish for a little bit, trying to get him on tilapia, shrimp, whatever it might be, pellets. He would not take, and finally we got him to take on the worms. I'll feed worms all day long. You don't really have to worry about the parasites like you do with a feed feeder fish. So we go ahead and feed him worms every single night, so he should be growing in no time.
Right.
Also on tomorrow's video.
Okay.
You want to take that next one there?
This one right here?
Yeah.
That's for my would-be wife. If we grew up in different circumstances, I'd be married to this girl right here. But I love her husband too much, and she's such a sweetheart. Olivia Boone, everybody. She's Booney, my bad. She sent $10. It says, "Merry Christmas, miss and love you guys." She's such a sweetheart. We get along so well, and I don't understand how her husband isn't jealous, but he's not. And he's like, "Just take her. I'll come visit the kids." I'm like, okay. No, we get along so well. I love her to death, and her man's awesome. He comes out and helps out and stuff. So, but yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Ambrose knows asks, "What's the biggest GATF you've kept? I know they are super tough to raise in captivity."
Our last one, big
26 inches long.
26 inches. He ended up dying.
He had some huge old teeth, and this thing was getting ferocious. This was before the monster pond, and we had him in the 4400, and we opted to get rid of him and give him a larger space, and we thought that was best. We didn't know we were getting the monster pond,
right?
And unfortunately, things happen. They're hard to transport. The person who came to pick him up, he died in transport on the way home. So, unfortunate. We raised that guy out for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. We got him from a little like 9-10 incher. This thing was awesome.
You said 9-10 incher.
No, it's like this.
That's 12 inches. You've been lying to your woman. I'm sorry.
She's actually watching this right now.
Hi, Brittany. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Dave. You guys don't understand. I hung out with his girlfriend's father back when we were in school, and I was 17 in 11th grade or 12th grade or something like that, 12th grade. And me and Dave, we hung tight, and then later on, I haven't seen him for 30-some years, and next thing you know, Josh is got Brittany there, and her last name's Demeter. I'm like, "Do you know Dave?" She's like, "That's my dad." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's such a small world." So yeah, my son is now dating the girl of the guy I used to hang out with in school. That's too much of a coincidence.
All righty.
I want to call Dave and say thank you for raising a girl that would date my son.
We got Corona Aroma, $5. Says, "Merry Christmas, Josh and Big Rich. Loved Reaper's Rescue today. Stay safe and healthy, from John and Dan."
Oh, thank you. Actually, Reaper cut that video in half. He went to Michigan, and he went to Dennis Feldman's house, and then he went over to Michigan Tropicals and talked to our buddy there. And so his next video will be the other half of his trip to Michigan.
Brittany Ziblis, $5, says, "What does Brittany do for a living, Josh? And do y'all have any vacations planned for 2022? Bet Diesel misses her." All right, so right now she is a yoga instructor, and she's trying to work on getting her real estate license. As far as vacations planned, she's actually taking me to Hawaii for my birthday.
His sugar mama. He's being welcomed. He's going to Hawaii and swim with the stingrays and all kinds of things. Manta rays, yeah.
Well,
Ambrose knows, says all the places you lived, where was that? Jeez. I lived in Boca Raton, Boynton Beach, Delray Beach, Fort Lauderdale. That was in Florida. There was another one too. 2 hours north of that was not Ontario. It was I forget the name of the city there. I lived in New York, in Yonkers, and in White Plains. I lived in West Virginia, and then I lived in Southern Ohio.
Talk about that one.
Stop it. I lived in Southern Ohio at Long Bottom, Ohio. I lived in Cleveland. I lived in Strongsville. I lived in North Royalton. Been all over the place. And then, I visited many other places. Like I used to go to Canada for the weekends. When I was 18, Canada was an 18 drinking state, country. You could just cross the border, go over there and buy beer. And we'd go over there every weekend. It was a 2.5 hour drive. You go up to the falls, you go across the falls, you're into Canada. There was this crazy city there which sold all kinds of different crazy stuff. And I got most of my band clothes from there. And, with like glow in the dark skeletons all over the pants. And, it was crazy. You could walk down the street, and I don't get high, but everybody walks down the street, smoking a joint there. It was crazy. We come back home, and we're not allowed to drink beer. It was so crazy. I'd go up to Canada every weekend for like 2 years. We'd go up there. Now I'm not allowed in their country because in '88 I had a felony. So I'm not allowed in Canada more. I'm not allowed in Canada. I feel bad.
Says, do you guys think wave makers are necessary in cichlid tanks? Some people say they are required for good flow, but I'm not sure.
I don't have any wave makers in my 1,800 gallon tank for my cichlids. I do have a bubble wall, and that does, after a while, gets the water created moving like this. So the water is always moving, and what I use it for is no dirt settles on the ground that I have to clean the gravel with, So, but as far as, I don't have no wave makers, though.
Oh, the king of DIY entered the chat.
Oh, he's finally here. What's up, dude?
Here to cause a ruckus.
No, he ain't gonna cause no trouble. He really likes me.
C. Whitmore says, tips on getting back into the hobby. I have multiple tanks, but I stopped all my tanks when it got too hard on my back to bucket all the water.
Get another tank, get a bigger tank, and put barely any fish in it. So easy to take care
Yourself
of.
a hose. Don't use buckets.
Use a python, don't use buckets. I'm a reaper. All right, so let's get back to DIY Joey. What's up, buddy?
He said he's making a call for you to see if he can get you into Canada. He said, I want you on the next flight.
If you can guarantee that I can get in, I will come up and see you. I will visit the DIY kingdom. I will video. I will do all that.
I'll come spend the whole entire weekend with you, big guy. Just me and you.
As long as you got vodka. I know Canada is a beautiful place. It's amazing, but I'm kind of upset that they won't let me in. I'm not a bad guy. I just have a felony on my record. So why should I not be allowed in there? It was in 1988, I think it was. And, I was a kid and I was stupid. Does that mean that 40 years later, I can't come into your country? I mean, really? I know there's drug dealers and I don't want to say other things, but there's definitely drug dealers. There's definitely robbers. There's definitely things going on in your country. And you don't want to let me in? I'm a good guy. Let me in.
All right. So,
Oh, yeah. Brittany says, if you go to Canada, you got to visit Ange, too. Of course we would. If I was to get to Canada, we would definitely visit Ange because there's like at
see, the problem is
40, 50 guys here that want to date Ange.
Joey's over here. Ange is like way over here.
Oh, no. But they talk like, oh, I'm in British Columbia. There, he's right there and that. No, that's 6 hours difference. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you think to get across the United States, it's something like 48 hours of straight driving one end to the other, and Canada overflows past the United States. So
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Canada's huge.
All right, we have Eric Anderson, $5. He said, "Merry Christmas to all."
DIY Joey's. Oh, thank you. DIY Joey says, if the felony isn't that serious, you can come. Well, it was for weed. Got a felony, you know, in 88. I don't even smoke weed now. It doesn't do nothing for me. I don't like it. And I've raised you all of your life. What are you? You're 26 years old. You've never seen me mess with weed. This was 30-some years ago, you know? And I'm not allowed in Canada because of it. Well, Joey, you can come here. We'll put you up for the weekend, buddy. We'll give you Josh's old room, which has its own bathroom with a bidet. You can spray your butt. Is that not enticing him to come?
You're too much sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, so who's this Drake that the DIY Joe or King of DIY is calling?
No idea.
It's not the rapper. I mean, it has nothing to do with Canada.
What if it is? He is actually Canadian.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, that's why he got made fun of on Degrassi all the time. He was, Canadian up there, and then he became.
So Joey knows Drake the rapper, and Drake's going to get me into Canada somehow? What?
That would be hilarious. I would laugh my ass off. But you know what? I don't put it past him.
Ambrose knows says, you got to smoke the new stuff, Rich. No. You got to understand. I smoked the old stuff. And the problem is, I didn't like it, but it made me eat everything in sight and go to sleep. So since 88, I've never smoked weed, ever. I don't care for it. I don't like it. It does different things to different people. It made me paranoid and hungry.
Joey says, I have a juvenile record which is blocked, but since I am well endowed, apparently I'm allowed to go anywhere I want. The border whispers, BDE incoming, and I just walk past.
Joey, you're too much. You're too much, brother. Well, if it's like that, then come down here and spend some time at OFR. We'll put you on a Friday Fishy. It'll be the best show ever because you are hilarious, my friend.
Uh-oh, AZ Fish Room says, BDE around here, Joey, is referred to as Big Deck Energy.
He's on the right track. Oh my God.
He just said, tell him what BDE is. He's old.
Right. Okay, look, there's people on here like Bambi. She's like, lots happening. Yes, there's a lot of hidden stuff going on behind the comments. We're having fun here.
There's talks about turtles and decks, and you just had to be there.
If you were at the turtle episode, oh my God, that was one hilarious episode. And if you were at the deck episode, I was clueless. I'm like, I have a big deck. My deck is 16 by 40. I'm telling people, and they're telling me I got a little deck. No, I don't. I got a big deck. Oh, it was funny.
Family television super chat $1. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was awesome of you. King of DIY says, I do have a big deck. And built it around the pond. So now he's going to do more. Okay. Tamara swims naked in it because no one asked. Okay.
That's a cold pond, bud.
Oh my goodness.
Someone's saying, never mind, I lost it.
OBG Foster says, I remember the deck episode with all that emoji.
I don't know. There's been like 5 streams that were just absolutely
Off the
hilarious.
hook. This should not have been.
I don't know. I think it's between that one and Greg's turtle.
Oh, the turtle episode was funny.
That one stuck around for.
Oh my goodness. That was
Ever.
great. I'm on my 3rd drink, guys. So Joey, when you coming down to bless us with your presence and get on the videos. OFR will change your life. You will now become famous after an OFR video. How's that? Is that good enough? Dave's time says, thanks for the laugh, guys. Been a rough week. You know what? This is why, okay, everybody else puts out a podcast or whatever, their live stream, and it's they're I don't know. I just hang out with my members on every Friday night, and it gets off the hook sometimes. It gets derailed sometimes. We have fun though.
We got Diesel over here just sitting by the fire, looking like Mr. Rogers, enjoying story time.
Right.
Commander says, "Can I just say Diesel's being amazing, so well behaved." Well, thank you. That's what he does all day. If he could sit in your arms all day, and
That's
nap
because
a little bit.
while you're gone at work, he's running from room to room. He's pissing over here. He's dragging. He's scraping up the door over there. He's running in the kitchen, getting the garbage, and you come home. He's like, I'm tired.
So for the longest time, Diesel actually did not have an accident in the house, and then we brought Richard stayed over with
his
Bentley.
dog. I told you, dogs will cover other dogs' smell with their scent. And it's not an accident. They're doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like dogs running around my house or cats. They're not allowed on the carpet. Because now if somebody else brings a cat over here, they smell your girlfriend's cat, they're going to spray. And it's a natural thing.
Uh-oh. Never mind. I lost it.
Tracy Smith says, when are Josh and Reaper are going to get in the mermaid outfit and get with the fish? We're thinking right after Christmas. Now, we met our goal. We were paid to do it. We will do it. We are men of our words. We will do it. Maybe Joey can fly down and get in a mermaid outfit with us. That would be great for our calendar. Time to buy a ticket, Joey. But right after Christmas, we're thinking of doing that video. And we're trying to do it as best we can for you guys.
So, like I said,
no. James Christopher says, I loved all the streams, but the one where Big Rich was drinking from the toilet paper roll was the best. For you people that don't know, I had caught a buzz, okay? And I couldn't find my drink, and I grabbed the toilet paper roll, and I'm trying to drink, and there's nothing coming out. And I look at it, all funny. It turns out to be a toilet paper roll. I set it down. I'm like, I hope no one caught that. Everyone did. I got sent pictures of that, where they took pictures off their TV. Oh my goodness.
Joey said, when I come I'm not saying when. I'll just show up drunk, crying, and covered in pizza sauce.
You gotta love this guy. You know, there's so many people out there that love him, and there's a few that like Joey's this and that, and blah blah blah. But they don't give him a chance. You know, the guy didn't like me, and he had reasons, or he thought he had reasons, and I still did not like him. You know, I met him, and you know, oh my God, he was funny. You know, and we've hit it off ever since. You know. It was just a little misunderstanding. He didn't know that I was, you know, saying this or that.
Someone brings up a good point. Shouldn't be pizza sauce. It should be maple syrup.
Yes, Joey, you show up here covered in maple syrup, you might be in trouble. almost coughed and choked on that one. Who has the bigger deck, Joey or Rich? We're going to find out, because you know what? When Joey gets here, I'm going to get him drunk enough, and we might compare. Joey says, I don't actually know Drake, by the way, so he was talking about Drake. Well, I wouldn't put it past you, Joey. You know so many people.
And you know, Canada is so small. You guys all have to know each other.
Oh yeah, you got to know Chris Biggs, and you know, some people in Nova Scotia we know. they all got to know each other, right? They're from the same place.
Someone's asking why there was a toilet paper roll in the first place.
Why was that there that day? Was I sick and I needed it for my nose or something?
I don't know. It was on the table for some reason.
It was there for a reason, for sure. And I don't know, but I got drunk that night. Which happens, you know, once or twice a year. Tracy Smith, again, with the same question. When are you and Josh and Reaper going to get in the mermaid outfit?
No, you just scroll up and then back down.
No, that's a different person with a different question. Because before they didn't ask Rich, they said, when's Josh and Reaper?
That's Josh and Reaper.
When are you, Josh and Reaper? Okay, I may have read the same question.
Brittany Ziblis, $20, says my Bicher's fins are getting more and more red. Was just a big fin. Now it's spreading to the both little ones and his back ones. What's the deal? I don't think it's a maturity thing. This was from an OFR Facebook user.
You know what, Brittany, send me a picture of that, because it's not normal. It shouldn't be red.
Yeah, it could be a number of things. I mean, you know, the first thing you always want to check is the water quality. And then once that's out the door, you can start just going down the list. It might be something bacterial, and you might have to treat for something small.
Sometimes when we don't know stuff, we have to actually go through a whole, you know,
like
regimen.
Stingray. One of our personal Stingrays got sick.
No, wait, this is the Stingray that I forget his name, but he donated 3 Stingrays, and they were the super white diamond Stingrays. This one has not been eating, and he's been getting sick, and now he's so skinny. You know, we took him out and put him in a tank by himself.
We wasted probably about $600 in medications, just going through and trying to find anything that we can possibly, you know, treat her for, because we've never seen nothing like this. Like it was eating, and then one day it just stopped
eating,
and out of nowhere, nobody else in the tank got sick. You know,
everybody else is eating.
Other signs. So we first treated the whole tank with general cure, and that was a 550 gallon. Then we since then removed her and put her in a 125, to where she's gotten bloodworms, ghost shrimp, night crawlers. We've done shrimp, tilapia.
Yeah.
You know, you name it, we've tried it. We've bumped the heat up to 86 degrees. We've upped the air intake into the tank just so she can be as comfortable as possible. And I did just see last night was the first time that she actually started to eat again. I did not physically see it, but what I noticed was the craters on her back from having no nutrition inside of her has now raised up, and she, you know, it looks like there's actually food in her stomach, and all the bloodworms are gone.
Because you can see her hip bones on her back.
Yeah.
And once you see that, that's almost a death sentence to a stingray. They're that skinny. You can see the hip bones. It's bad.
Yeah.
And she finally just started eating. So all the regimens of, you know, what was the other, that yellow medicine?
We did rounds of Gen Cure, we did Canaplex, we did Metro, we did Prezi Pro, we did I'm drawing a blank.
General Cure.
The next step was going to be potassium permanganate, which is a very, very volatile medication.
It will kill all bacteria.
Yes, you have to be very, very careful. If you dose it wrong, you'll not only kill the fish,
kill your fish.
You'll kill the bacteria. So you have to be very, very, very careful. It's very volatile. And it takes forever to get back out of the water. Once you do it, you have to do water changes upon water changes upon water changes. And it actually starves the oxygen out of the water, so you have to pump it in as fast as it's taking it out.
Yeah, so you gotta, you know, it's hard, but you know what? We saved this one. She's eating now, and pretty soon she can go back in the tank with her.
Jim Sheasley, $5. Says,
hey Jim, how you doing, buddy?
Share one of the bottles I gave you with Joey if you still have some left. And Joey said, if you gave bottles to Rich today, it'll probably be already gone. I think I'm actually looking at them right now.
There is like at least 50 bottles left from Jim Sheasley. He brought over his entire, as he got sick, and he his liver and all this. He can never drink again. He brought over his entire bar to OFR. And I'm like, are you serious? He brought me a box. I'm like, really? All alcohol? And then I set it down. And he went back and got another box. I'm like, what? And then he went back and got another. I mean, we're talking hundreds of boxes of, or not hundreds of boxes, hundreds of bottles that my 5 foot, I think it's 5 shelves, glass shelf, is covered in bottles. And then we've got the whole, you know, shelf in there covered in bottles. And, you know, I haven't, no, a few women have drank some of the wine. A few people have drank a couple of the bottles. But we've got 90% of your alcohol here, Jim. So, yeah, Joey can have whatever he wants from that. There's pickle vodka. There's watermelon vodka. There's grape vodka. There's all kinds of vodka in there.
You don't know if he shows up at the door crying, covered in pizza sauce, maple syrup, whatever it might be.
We'll take him in. That's the kind of people we are.
You take him in, give him his own zippy cup, set him in.
Give him a sippy cup, right?
Wash
hose
him
him
up,
down.
give him a blanket.
This is what we'll do for you, Joey, because we care.
Ambrose Note says you guys are great problem solvers of the hobby.
Thank you.
Another level.
Oh, so we're on another level. I like it.
It's just years and years of experience.
I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
Goes to show, even with the experience, sometimes you have a problem and you can't figure it out, and you don't know what to do because nobody else has
ran across that
before.
So many times. Yeah.
I talk about this all the time with a lot of the fish you see in the hobby nowadays. You weren't able to keep alive 10 years ago. Most of the fish that we've had were trial and error. And you found what worked, and you share those secrets with everyone.
Tri-State Tropical says, Brett Raymer needs to bring Melinda Sue over here, and let's see her in the mermaid outfit. Now, that's definitely worth some seashells there.
Easy now.
Whoa, Nelly. No. Melinda's a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. She dressed up as, what was that with the 101 Dalmatians, the lady with the white and black hair?
Forget her name.
Oh, man. She dressed up as her. And she was like Cruella DeVille. She was like the hottest girl in the whole, you know, Aquashella there, and I asked Brett, I'm like, dude, what's it like being with the hottest girl here? He goes, I love it.
Joey said, I drink beer. I can't handle hard liquor anymore.
That's all right, Joey. You'll be here. We'll get you whatever beer you want, and you can drink whatever you want, however much you want. And we swear we won't put you out on the internet.
You know what? I just thought about something. Someone was asking about the future projects, and we didn't even think to talk about springtime and Greg coming back to help.
Oh, yeah, there's big, major projects on the horizon, but I'm thinking, close by what we're doing next, But yeah, Greg and Ed are coming back out here, and they want to do a big thing here and, clean up the edges of my pond and do a live edge and then do a pump intake so all the leaves won't matter no more. And we'll just clean off the pump intake with leaves and then take a rake and clean it up. And it'll be a bunch of gravel, and the water goes through the gravel into the pumps. So he wants to do that. And then what else did they want to do?
The filter.
Oh, they wanted to, make the wetlands filter bigger.
He wants to size it adequately for the size pond that
Get
we
that
have.
out, Jeff.
Because the size filter we have was designed for a much smaller pond, and we went ahead and went.
We went bigger, and we didn't make the filter any bigger. So Greg's told us that's where we messed up. But here's the difference. Right now, if I overfeed the tank, the whole back pond, it'll turn a little bit cloudy. You can't see the bottom. 4 days from now, it'll be clear again. Well, he's talking, we need the filter on there that 20 minutes later, it'll be clear again.
All right, so we got 20 minutes left here in the stream. Go ahead and raise any questions you might have in the chat if I missed them.
Now, wait, Brett Raymer was supposed to be here before Christmas. So I'm going to call him. I'll actually do that tomorrow. I'm going to call him.
Not on Christmas.
Huh?
Not on Christmas.
Oh, I can't call him on Christmas. Yeah, I'll call him after Christmas. And then, hey, bro, what's up? You said you were going to come here before Christmas. He said actually before Aquashella. And I saw him on Aquashella. He said before Christmas. And then now Christmas came and went. He's still not here. So we need to have Brett Raymer here for the videos,
Yeah.
And then then we can get maybe Agnes can visit. So I love Agnes.
So OBG Foster says, how many fish are in the big pond? Can you even count them? No, it's kind of impossible, not including the rays because they're not our fish. We probably have about 40 or so of the large fish, and then
40 rays.
Hundreds of cichlids.
Oh, there's thousands of cichlids in there. You see the hundreds, swimming around, but you don't see none of the babies. If you go underwater with snorkeling mask and look at every piece of rock against the wall, you'll see babies coming out and going back in. It's like you never see these from above water. There's thousands in there.
All right, so I got that question.
So Joey, when you coming here, buddy?
He'll never answer that.
He has not answered that. Chris Biggs up there, you know him because all you Canadians know each other, right? He's been here twice now. You haven't been here once. We're supposed to be friends, bro.
Have you considered netting some of those cichlids and putting them into a tank?
Yes, we have.
We've tried. It's pointless.
They move away from the net. It's ridiculous. The only way we'd ever have a chance is if we took like a 20-foot wide minnow seine and laid it down in the ground and then fed them daily for like a week in this spot. So we feed them, they come over, and then have like 6 people all at once pull this net up. That's about the only way we'd get them out of there.
Joey said probably in the spring. And yeah, I know Chris.
Of course he knows Chris. Because they're neighbors. They're in Canada. So if they're both from Canada, they have to know each other. No, Chris and Joey were on the circuit way, 10 years ago when they were coming to America doing all the shows and stuff like that. They were on that together, and they met each other that way. We're just making fun of it because, oh, you're from Canada, then you must know each,
If Canada wasn't so cold, I might already be up there.
Yeah. Well, same thing about Florida. If it wasn't so horrid, you go to Florida. Now, I went to Florida as a kid. I was 15. Went to Florida. I drove my Honda 125 there. My dad threw me out. I drove to Florida thinking I can live with my grandmother. I get there, and I can't live with my grandmother. So now I meet some guy, and, I'm working at a temp agency, lying about my age, all this stuff. I met this guy, and he lets me live in his place, $75 a week. The first night I'm there, I wake up because I feel something moving. I reach into I wore tidy whities, okay? I reach into my shorts and into my tidy whities, and there's two huge cockroaches. Now, down in Florida, they're called palmetto bugs, and they fly. And they do this thing to you. I woke up, I was like, what the? And they fly past my face, It was ridiculous. I was like, I hate Florida, Biggest cockroaches ever. They fly. This is horrible. No, why would God make this, So, that happened.
Whatever happened to the cichlid that made its way into the bass tank?
Cichlids that made its way in the bass tank?
There's bass in there.
You had one in there, right?
There was a convict that made his way
convict
into the bass
cichlid,
tank.
yes.
And
I haven't seen him lately.
I think he's gone.
You think he's
safe
gone?
to say he's gone. There's what, 8
Unless he's really good at hide
I
and
keep
seek.
spilling the beans on the video tomorrow. There's now 8 bass in there.
He's really good at hide and seek.
So they were in the bass tank. They were in the 3000, the Stingray pond. The
Oh yeah,
44
we found them in the 3000. Yep.
Yeah, they're all over the place. There's some in the 580 right now. They got pumped up from the monster pond. I wouldn't be surprised if there was ever some in the Frontosa tank.
Right. Now, our buddy Dougie says Bigrich wears what? Now, see, you guys got to understand.
What are you gonna do?
In my day, my father walked around in boxers, and I'm like, oh, Dad, come on. I don't want to see that. And he'd come home from work, he'd be in his boxers, and he'd watch TV and the Benny Hill show and all this stuff. I wore tidy whities. So I grew up thinking tidy whities wasn't
saying, oh no. Please don't do it.
So tidy whities was the way to go. They held you up. They separated things. There was no sweat. It was better. So now I raised my children. And for some reason, they don't like tidy whities.
I'm not looking.
So they wear these, what do you call them?
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs is what they wear.
Best of both worlds.
No, it does not separate and calamitate.
Depends on the kind you get, buddy.
I'm just saying, I'm still a fan of tidy whities.
Pull
Okay?
your stuff back up, Jesus Christ.
I wear my tidy whities. They lift and separate.
I heard someone out there screaming, "Close your eyes, Ethel."
Close your eyes, Ethel. Oh my goodness.
Those were the whitest legs I ever did see.
Oh, that's just camera. You know, my legs is tanned. I spend, half my day in the tanning bed. I got all that time, right? No, of course I'm white. I'm nonstop. I'm working here. I don't have time to get in a tanning bed. Sheesh. But I didn't want to turn Joey on, so I had to just flash.
He said, I might be coming a little sooner than springtime. Gravy Davy, $5. He said to keep it on, Big Rich.
Mary Page Flynn says, Merry Christmas, Big Rich. Josh, Tracy, all of our friends here. I hope everyone's having a blessed holiday. We're having a fun time for sure, Mary. Thank you for stopping by.
My phone just broke.
How can any decent human take $10,000 and leave the bathroom for Tracy in that state? Yes, that is a very good question. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
OnlyFans content. Do you guys want me to open OnlyFans? I will. You know what my biggest customer would be? It would be Joey. DIY Joey.
Serious Fish Keepers Canada said, oh no, just seen Joey on his way to the airport.
Joey, we love you, but this is funny. This is gold. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh no.
Joey said, I actually have an OnlyFans. Haha. It's me and Tamara.
Yeah, well, how much you making from there, buddy? Because I'm telling you, my OnlyFans with you in it would make a lot more. I'd pay to see Big Rich drop his drawers. That's from OBG Foster. I'll start a fundraiser.
TKD says, I have young koi and goldfish that we overwinter currently in a 110 and a 75. The 75 is planted sand bottom for the goldfish. Best filter to use. I keep killing hang on the backs.
All right. If you want to go with hang on the backs, I love the AC 110s. The bigger the tank, get more AC 110s. They have a sponge filter and then your sack of biological media. They are the greatest hang on the back filters ever. I love them. AC 110s. They have AC 70s, AC 50s, AC 20s for smaller tanks. But the AC 110s are the big boys for a 75 gallon. If you got 150 gallon, get two AC 110s. Them are the only hang on backs that we use here at the rescue. If we get them in, we put them on the tanks. Every other hang on the back, we give out.
If you want to go canisters, always go flue ball there. But sponge filters are also a good, cheap backup.
Gravy Davy says Big Rich is known as white lavender.
I laughed at that one.
That reminds me of Rob and Big from the Fantasy Factory when Biggie went to he was called Black Lavender or something like that when he went and did a strip tease at that was funny. Oh my goodness.
All right, so you guys got a few more minutes. Let's get them last little bit of questions.
OBG Boston says, you got to straighten this out. I said I'd pay not to see that. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you all are laughing. This is a fun time.
Big Rich in the mermaid outfit on the OnlyFans.
Well, we're going to do the mermaid outfit because I promised you guys we would. We've got the 3 mermaid outfits here, but Christmas is in the way. So right after Christmas, we'll get that video done, and we're going to take a bunch of pictures for.
Mermaid's name is White Lavender.
We're going to take a bunch of pictures to make the calendar up for the year. Okay, so it's going to happen. I'm a man of my word. I would never, shiest you guys.
So you might be on to something here.
What's that?
Some people have these weird fetishes, and they might just want to see an old guy in a mermaid outfit called White Lavender.
White Lavender and Dade's OnlyFans. But no, we got to make it OnlyFins.
OBG Foster said, when do the Stingrays go home?
We don't know.
Good question.
We have no idea.
So as far as we know,
know what we know.
Rod's still in Florida and Kevin is still in California. I don't even think they've gotten keys to the new shop yet. So my best guess is summertime.
Could be. I keep waiting to see him loading up his videos of loading up the tanks, loading up all the stuff. And I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing him buy new fish. I'm like, wait a minute. You're buying new fish. That don't make sense. We're paying for your food. We're paying for their everything here. And you should be moving because we did this out of the goodness of our heart. You should be moving. He's buying new fish. I'm not getting it.
Michael Johnson says, any chance to do a cold water tank with other fish to go with the sturgeon? We're doing koi.
The sturgeon will go out in the backyard koi pond eventually.
And
I did not want to put the sturgeon into the koi pond now because it's 39 degrees and he came in at 60 something. We put him into 57-degree water with our goldfish tank. So, next summer, when the temperatures reach about the same, they're both about 60, I'll transfer him. It may get warmer for the summer, but then it'll go down on his time slowly for winter, and he'll be used to it then,
John, the dog is a miniature pincher, but he is a merle, so he has this cute little coat on him. Got all spotty and stuff.
A min pin. Is OBG Foster says, is Reaper still refusing to go into the pool pond until after the stingrays are gone? No. Reaper did try and refuse, but no. After Josh agreed, Reaper agreed. And, because I can't take this lady's, she gave $3,000 if I would get Reaper and Josh in there. So if Reaper didn't do it, he's costing me. I have to give the lady back her money. I am a man of stature and goodness, and I will not take that money unless I can produce what she wanted. She wanted Josh and Reaper to join me with the mermaid outfit. So they agreed. Okay. So now I don't have to give the money back, and they are, but it's taken us a little bit of time because we've got so many obligations out right now. We have to put out this video for Okemo. We have to, what's the other video we got to do? I forget, but there's 2 videos ahead of this that we have to do, and we can do it during Christmas time, blah, blah, blah. Then we can get on to our personal video of the mermaid outfit. So this, I just hope that this lady knows that her $3,000 will be safe until we're ready to put out the video. Then we will spend her money on the fish rescue,
So someone said, I'm getting tired here.
Hoover says, when can I get a drink? Hoove, go in the kitchen and get you a drink, buddy. He's sitting over there like, I'm not part of this. Oh, wait. There's my 3 drinks. It must be about 2 hours up, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got JP Merlo, $20. He said,
JP's in the house.
Merry Christmas, guys. You guys and Joey have done so much for the going. All the DIY stuff has kept us poor boys in the hobby.
Right.
Thanks for being the pioneers, and maybe Joey can come to the Aquarium Expo down here in the country.
You know what? I already brought that up to Joey, JP. I already brought that up. I told him this is the newest biggest show that is coming up. Okay, we went to the show. We were the only YouTubers there, and everybody loved us. We were treated like royalty. If we get bigger YouTubers next year, he can. And his first show, he had over 2,000 people. This guy, JP Merlo, is a deacon for the church down there, but he's also on the board of directors for the city down there. So they gave him a big place to hold this, and next year is going to be way bigger and way better. And I told him I'm going to bring down some YouTubers, and if Joey wants to come, that's great. It's a whole new thing that Joey hasn't been around. This is a new show. But I'm talking like, Primetime Aquatics, John and from KG Tropicals, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, all of my friends here, which is, we've got Steven from SC Aquatics. We got, what's her aquatics name?
Oddball
Aquatics. We got Haley. We got, a bunch of people. And we can even ask, Lucas from LRB Aquatics, that's that kind of stuff. We've got Rob from Flip Aquatics. We can ask them. We can bring a bunch of people. But what they don't understand is this show went way overboard and was way better than any first show I've ever been at. This show deserved more people. JP Merlo is a name you guys are going to remember, because he's going to be doing a show with 15,000 people next year. Trust me on this.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. It was a wonderful Christmas Eve stream. I hope you guys all have wonderful holidays with your family. Last but not least, Will Star $10 says Merry Christmas, everyone. So I hope you guys had a fun night with us on Stay Fishy Friday. We will catch you next week. And as always,
stay fishy, my friends.